A developing story from Sportskeeda.com right now. Samoa Joe has relinquished the WWE NXT Championship just a few weeks after returning to the ring after more than a year out of action and serving as a broadcaster for WWE, being released by WWE earlier this year, then being re-brought back into the company for the NXT division, where he made his company name first. Samoa Joe, no longer the WWE NXT champion. Yes, this breaking news on a Sunday night. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! Watch out, watch out, watch out. Indeed, I am Kev Kelm with you on a Sunday night covering this developing story we just learned about within the last hour from WWE. Samoa Joe releasing a video on social media and WWE's various digital platforms with the championship on his shoulder, saying that WWE medical officials have told him for a brief period of time he will have to drop the WWE championship. He will vacate the title and then obviously has intentions to once again regain the championship when he comes back. Now, the timing of this is extremely intriguing when you look at the entire changes that WWE is making with the NXT brand in general. But it's also a devastating one. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. How do you feel about this developing story? Samoa Joe no longer the WWE NXT champion after just winning that championship just a few short weeks ago at NXT Championship, their NXT TakeOver 36. People saying Samoa Joe is cursed. He's had a lot of injuries in WWE. You know, several times he was missed just the period where he would be on a WrestleMania. He did have a WrestleMania match with Rey Mysterio. It was very, very short. He did have injuries that kind of took him off the Monday at Raw role he was in ring. Then he went into commentary, which he was very good at. Then he got released by WWE. Then he got rehired. Then he got brought into NXT, where he was going to be like a non-wrestler kind of enforcer type for William Regal. And then he got back into the mix and became an in-ring performer. So it's an interesting thing here. People asking, yes, another injury. Well, he's stating this is an injury. Obviously, a lot of people have contemplated whether or not it is an injury. It isn't exactly clear. He stated that WWE medical officials have said this and that his intentions are to come back for the championship. He noted this would be a brief respite. This would not be a long period of time here. People asking, why does he keep getting injured? I don't know. I don't know. It's not exactly clear. And there could be many, many reasons why this could be happening here, too. Obviously, some people already speculating. People in the know may already know about the upcoming rebrand of WWE, which has been teased and teased and teased for weeks here. About them changing the brand, changing the entire look of WWE here coming up on September 14th. You see the new logo that's been up for a few weeks. WWE's been airing the promos like crazy on Raw and on SmackDown, even the very well-watched SmackDown this past week from New York City. And they have a lot built into this. They've rebuilt the entire Capitol Wrestling Center set. They're really trying to do some different things. There were a bunch of wrestlers that were released. WWE wanting a different focus, wanting a different feel. And some people saying this is the death of NXT as we know it. But other people saying that isn't exactly the case. Triple H still very much in charge. And that Vince McMahon wanted to really freshen up the look of the show. And that it was something that USA Network apparently wanted as well. So we'll see what happens here. People saying that, he's already going to AEW. If he's dropping that title, he's already going to AEW. Yeah, we hear that every time. Anything happens with anyone in WWE, they're going to AEW, right? Tim Bookhagen says, Samoa Joe has so much ability, unfortunately, not much availability. Well, he is available. I mean, the guy has some type of injury, or there's some big change they're doing in NXT, and they want to make they don't need the title on him to do that. It's not exactly clear. I think that's another thing here. A lot of people rushing to judgment to see what's going to happen here. Christopher saying, have a tournament for the NXT title, bring back Karrion Kross. Just reboot everything. Act like the last few months it didn't happen. Like Karrion Kross never left NXT. Like Samoa Joe didn't choke him out like a month ago on pay-per-view and win that title from him. Michael Campos saying, rebrand is Tuesday. That is correct. September 14th, we're getting this new version of NXT. And this is pretty convenient to gain a championship that fits the criteria of the new direction. That is true, but everyone says that they're so tied into that criteria, and everyone's heard what that criteria is, and that's it. That's what it is. Dave Meltzer told us what that criteria is, and that's what you're getting. You're not getting anything else. You're getting WWE only focusing on non-independent wrestling names and wrestlers under a certain age and under a certain look, when that's already counteractive to that, because they already have a lot of wrestlers that are not of that age group and not in that group. And they have a lot of different things that don't exactly line up with those initial reports we heard. And we heard that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard were taking over the show. And then within 48 hours, it was debunked. So there's a lot of things that people are saying about NXT that have already been debunked. There's a lot we don't know. I think all we do know is the show's going to look different. The set's going to be different. I think that's kind of the one thing we do know that's going to be different about NXT here. And obviously now we know is that Samoa Joe's not going to be that champion on Tuesday. We know within the next 48 hours, we're going to either find out who that new champion is. Maybe we find out that new champion on Tuesday and a new champion is determined. Or at least a new path is set for a new champion. We'll find out in the next few weeks here. Some other people would like to see some new names that are, that are in NXT kind of go up to the championship level. Wayne Scuns would love to see Cameron Grimes, but I don't think they'll see him like that. Yeah, I think Cameron Grimes is going to be in a really great position in NXT. Don't even know exactly if he would be the right guy to put that title on right away. So that's just what I think right now. Maybe in a little while. Wouldn't think you'd hear it. Tim says, do I think it's legit or fishy? I don't know. I really, really don't know. This is such a shocking thing to do, especially on a Sunday night. The time frame of it is very odd. You have NFL football on, you have the VMAs on. Ring of Honor has a pay-per-view on right now. I've been checking out. I have it on another screen. Really, really, really fun show. Alex Zane, who performed in WWE as Ari Sterling, was on it. Jake Atlas and Jake Atlas and Tyler Rust, who were in WWE NXT, also had a pretty solid match on that show as well. I just zipped away from it to do this live stream with you here as this story kind of broke during that show. It'll be interesting to see what happens here, and where this goes. Carmen saying NXT is a joke. Is it really a joke if they're putting this much time in it? Is it a joke if it's on national television? Is it a joke if Samoa Joe is a legit verified wrestler across multiple generations? Is it a joke if a lot of fantastic wrestlers are there? Is it a joke if there's so many well-received all-time classic matches in there? Is it a joke if if Dragunov and Walter had that match of the year candidate there? I guess it's a joke, right? Just because you want to say it's a joke and someone told you to say it's a joke. See, if you're going to troll, try, guys. Just try. Don't come in with lazy stuff. If you do that, I will dunk on you. I will go to Kembe Mutombo on you very, very quickly. A lot of people with different takes in this here. Marlo texting and saying, I'm so sorry for people. I'm so sorry for some people. Happy to Samoa Joe having to drop the time. He's going to be able to stay with WWE. He's not going to be able to stay with the WWE champion anymore. We'll see what happens here, man. We'll see what happens here. It will be an interesting thing here. And a lot of people rushing to the idea that this isn't real and they just want to get the title off him. We don't know. We really don't know the whole story here yet. Obviously a lot of speculation though, and letting you guys fuel that, throw the gas on there here. Here we go. Hester texting in here. I love that last name. One of the greatest Chicago Bears of all time. Give Ciampa another run. He had some good matches as champion. Yes, he did. Tommaso Ciampa had some really great matches as a champion and is still in the fold there at WWE NXT. So we'll see what happens here with him. I think he is kind of tied into a program, but I wonder if WWE just kind of like scraps a lot of the different storylines they had here with this reboot. They do some different things. Something is going to happen on this show, and whether or not that is something that people react to positively or negatively, they're going to do something. Whether it's not just going to be a new look for this show, and I think the title being off of Joe plays into that. So definitely here. Ultimate Farmer saying Samoa Joe better return to commentary desk if he's injured. You would like to see him back on Monday Night Raw, so we'll see what happens here. And if he's back on that commentary desk, that could be a sign. Maybe his future's out of the ring. Maybe there's something wrong physically that WWE says, hey, we like your personality, we like your mind. It's worth noting. Sportskey was on the ground with WWE, and we are allowed with several other media outlets to attend their recent WWE tryouts, where Triple H said that WWE was doing a lot of different things, bringing a lot of new athletes. They signed developmental deals with over a dozen different athletes that weekend that were both involved in wrestling and not involved in wrestling at that point. And Samoa Joe was involved in that 2-day tryout, and he oversaw it. And Triple H described his work as a producer on that, and that he has an expanded role that isn't just an in-ring performer now. So maybe this is enough of an injury situation where let's just make you focus on that, and we have you get the title off Karrion Kross, and we get into this reboot era. Is that where we are? Is that what this was? It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I'm gonna say it's not as sad as it is, and this isn't me just spinning it. I'm interested. Maybe not for the right reasons, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do Tuesday. Are you more intrigued by this move? If Samoa Joe's not the champion, as to what WWE NXT is going to do next? Let us know with the like buttons. Let us know how you feel with those buttons. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know how you feel. If you haven't done already, go ahead and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling on YouTube. On YouTube, everywhere on the world, you can subscribe to us there. A lot of exclusive content every single Monday night. Vince Russo, bro, is with us after Monday night. Friday nights, we have right after AEW Rampage and SmackDown, we have Dutch Mantel, the legendary Dirty Dutch Mantel. You may remember him as Zeb Coulter in WWE, running down everything going on Friday. And this past week's episode was absolutely fantastic. Really, really great watch. If you haven't done it, go ahead and watch that tonight. Maybe get that in before you start your week. And if you maybe can't watch all this stuff, you want to listen to it, well, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast as well. Available on Apple and Spotify. Thank you for putting us on the charts in multiple countries recently. And if you haven't done already, go ahead and hit like on this video. I know you're watching it for free. It's a freebie, baby. And you can just get your comments on screen. Get a couple more in here before we get that. People say, scratch that. Pete Dunne deserves this. You're Hester, a little bit ago, you're saying put the belt on Ciampa. A little while now, you're saying put it on Pete Dunne. Make up your mind. You're like Bobby Heenan when he was doing commentary for the Royal Rumble, and every guy who came out was his pick who was going to win. Zach Velocity joining us here over with a Twitter comment saying, thoughts on the Olympian that just got signed. Is he going to be put with Alpha Academy? Well, that's just a fantasy booking thing. I know a lot of people think, oh, you get a Greco-Roman wrestler in WWE, pair him up with Chad Gable or pair him up with somebody who looks like Kurt Angle, right? I hear a lot of people say that. Fantasy booking isn't news, guys. Just speculation, I know. Zach, you're talking about Gable Steveson. Gable Steveson recently won the gold medal in Greco-Roman wrestling for the United States in Tokyo. He is a huge acquisition. He appeared at SummerSlam and came out and was applauded by the crowd in Las Vegas. He has been on social media barking up WWE's tree for quite some time, even before the Olympics. He is still in college. It isn't clear if he will continue to compete at Division I wrestling. I don't know that information right now. He could go for another national title in freestyle wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, if you wanted to pursue it. Seth Rollins has put it out there. We even reported it earlier this week on our channel. You can check it out. Seth Rollins wants to train this guy. Seth Rollins has the Black and the Brave wrestling facility in Iowa. He wants to get this guy ready for the WWE Performance Center. So you have an athlete, you have a blue chip athlete, you have a guy who wants to be there. You have a guy who also could have went into the UFC if he wanted to and signed a contract before even having a fight because of the noteworthy nature that he's already achieved in sports. And there's a lot of guys who've done this. Kurt Angle did it. Brock Lesnar did it. Shelton Benjamin did it. Matt Riddle did it. There is a path line here. So it is not a broken path to go from legitimate freestyle wrestling into the world of showbiz pro wrestling. And Gable has some personality. I haven't seen a ton of it, but he has a lot of it. Has a great ability. He has really, really great dynamic ability to get to his feet. Great, can do a good backflip, showing off some personality when he's winning a match. And also won. You have a gold medalist. There's something to be said about having a gold medalist. WWE really, really enjoyed having a gold medalist in Kurt Angle. So what WWE does with him is there's a lot of factors here that can come together. Hopefully, guy stays healthy. And maybe get yourself a really big future WWE superstar out of this. We'll see what happens here. And a lot of people think Tuesday should be fun in terms of what's going to happen here now that Samoa Joe no longer the WWE NXT champion, relinquishing that title, he says, due to injury tonight on social media. Anthony texting here saying, I think what happens is WWE pushes Gable Steveson straight to the title with his brother Bronson Steiner, who's now going to be known as Rex Steiner. Bronson Steiner, who's Rick Steiner's son. It's going to be known as Rex Steiner, and Parker Bordeaux, who is a different name. Parker Bordeaux, quite the little social media darling before he ever had a match in WWE. Big crop of those names we have not seen featured on television just yet. Don't know if those guys are going to be featured. That isn't exactly a story. That's more just speculation. You guys got fantasy booking. A lot of you guys get angry if your fantasy booking isn't fulfilled on television too, by the way. I get it. It's okay. Other people texting in here. about different things that they want to see happen here. Samoa Joe is going to let me stop trying to wrestle for him, but he will be rocking with the company. Sorrow. Marlo, you're going to go in there and wrestle in his place for him? Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I'm just teasing, man. Yeah, other people saying this. Wade Fuller saying maybe since Joe is the biggest star in NXT, maybe they just want him to chase the title and they'll find the next guy. Oh, Wade, that's a good sense here. Maybe they want to have Joe chase a champion. They kind of already did that with Karrion Kross, right? To a degree, they did it with Karrion Kross, but you also Karrion Kross being on Raw. And it wasn't exactly the same thing. Maybe they want somebody who's like isolated, just NXT, who comes in and upheaves everything and gets the title. And here's Samoa Joe coming back from injury after he had to relinquish it. And obviously he'll have a shot at it. He says he's going to have a shot at it. Unless this is a very serious injury. And we've seen that happen before. With Bryan Danielson, he went out of the picture in 2017, 2018 there with that unfortunate concussion. And we didn't see him. And the next time we saw him, he said he's not going to wrestle anymore. And he had to retire. And it was a legitimate retirement. So hopefully that isn't the case here. Samoa Joe looked good in that match. I've seen a better Samoa Joe match. I think him and Karrion Kross had a very, very good match. And I'm talking about the match they had on the 22nd of August at the TakeOver show on Peacock and WWE Network. Very, very good match. Now, it wasn't the best match on that show. There's some better matches on the show. But Joe looked awesome. It felt special to see him in the ring, wrestling for the first time in more than a year and a half. If there was an injury from there, it's not exactly clear. He has done physical things on NXT television since. If he got injured in those, it isn't clear. Those were taped weeks ago. So we'll see what happens here. And I wonder what his role will be on the show on Tuesday, too. I mean, obviously he taped this promo. Maybe this whole show is just about a youth movement in WWE and guys of a certain age and a certain fresh look, so we'll see what happens here. And other people saying, if handshake future endeavor coming, I don't think it's happening, man. If you're just joining us here a little bit late, Vincent M. Floyd saying, he's been future endeavor. That's not the case. He has a role in WWE. He has a role that certified off camera. We can say it from seeing it on hand. He has a role off camera as a producer for the company. I'd be surprised if that happens just a few months after he got let go. And then Triple H says, no, we have this role for him in NXT. Let's find this new role for him. We want him with the company for a long time. So we'll see what happens here. Chewy texting in here saying Samoa Joe needs to get out of WWE. He'll end up like Jeff. Saying Jeff Hardy, going for the 24/7 championship sooner than you think. Here's the thing, Chewy, and I'm not defending the 24/7 championship. It is the low end of WWE mainstream television. It's true, but it's still on television. It's not the worst thing you could be. The worst thing you could be is Shelton Benjamin or somebody who's 40 plus, who has a lot of great matches left in him, but isn't being featured on television. It's not the worst thing you can be. Everyone has this idea that if you go for the 24/7 championship, that you're just immediately the worst. No, you play a secondary role. It's not the worst thing in the world. Guys over on AEW on Dark, are they being seen by everyone? No. But is it the worst thing in the world? No. But internet tells you to crap on something, so you crap on it because you do what the internet tells you to do. Or do you do what you want to do? Think about that. Paul Savage with the take here says there should be an independent investigation against AEW illegally poaching WWE superstars. Paul, I don't know if that's the case. I don't think they illegally poached anyone. There should be an independent investigation. A tribunal should be formed. Okay, that is wow. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to cut that out. that right there. I'm gonna have to share that on the internet for people to see. Anyone seeing this on Twitter, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of that clip right there. People saying you should just go to AEW. I don't know about that, man. Everyone's saying, oh, they're not treating you well. You had to do this. Here's the thing. He may have a legitimate injury. So he isn't in a place to just go there. And saying that he's AEW bound, anytime anything happens to anyone in WWE, they're going to AEW. That isn't the case, guys. And also, I'll say this. I don't think they have the bandwidth right now. Where would they put him? What role would he have? Where would he land on the show? I'm not saying he wouldn't be an asset to them, but where would he play there? What would he do? It'd be really hard to find another spot for a very significant player like him. WWE talent now coming over to NXT. They have to let those guys settle in and develop them week to week and bring the people over that liked Ruby Soho, Brian Danielson, Adam Cole. All right, you're trying this out for the first time, or maybe you tried this out and you've gone back and forth. Well, you're with this every Wednesday and Friday. We're going to make it count for you. They got to establish those guys now, and they have a lot of young talent they have to make matter anyway. So we'll see what happens here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here and sharing the link so you don't stink. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you guys so much. Once again, this big breaking story, Samoa Joe relinquishing the WWE NXT Championship. We have the full story, the latest details, and a whole lot more from the world of wrestling right now, including all the top 5 articles we've been dropping all weekend long. We have those every single day if you want to dive a little bit deeper into why Kenny Omega is the top of the PWI 500 and much more news. We have that up there right now. Samoa Joe dropping the WWE NXT Championship. The story up now at sportskeedawrestling.com. Thank you guys so much. Sportskeeda.com. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sportskeeda Wrestling. Remember, when watching wrestling, do the most important thing. Smash that like button before I sign off here. Do it. Drop them here right at the end. And remember, when watching wrestling, enjoy wrestling.